Hello everybody, thank you for clicking on this video. This video is going to be quick. It is a review of the Pineider Le Grande Bellezza fountain pen. Mine came in a fine, mine is the Dolomite green. The reason I'm doing this video is because I clunked down $638 knowing virtually nothing about the pen other than the fact that the creator was Dante Del Vecchio and the pen is green. I like both aspects about it so far, so I took a plunge and I got it. I'm very happy that I did. This pen is a fantastic pen. It's a gorgeous pen. There's only a few things about it that I think people do need to know before they go and spend the money on it. And before I get into that, let me explain a few things. The reason my face is cut off is because the subject of the video is this bad boy right here, not me. So that's why. Plus, I really don't think that if you have children watching that they should be subjected to my face. But in any case, when I first got this pen, the pen actually came in a box, inside of a box, obviously. And it was actually humorous because when I got it and I opened it up, it just made me chuckle. Let me grab it over here for you right now. But this is the box that it came in. All right, it says, lo and behold, it says Pineider on it, if you could believe that. It's the outside box, it's a cardboard box. Watch this. When you pull off the tab and you open it up, the whole thing just unfolds on itself. Just very flimsy. I guess additional meticulous boxes being made, was not, it was not a concern of Pineider, but it's super flimsy. But don't let the quality of how the box stays together be a determining factor in the quality of the pen. I recommend if they ever make pants, don't invest in it. But next you have inside is this very fine leather box. It could double as a doorstop if you wanted. It opens up here like this, and when you open it up, there is inside of it a shelf. Very Visconti-like. On that shelf is where the pen was sitting, and inside you had a pack of Hallmark-style cards and envelopes. Very nice paper. They look like some of them are handmade. I don't know anything about paper. Inside you got your identity card. Now these are important for your inanimate objects, but what's cool about this identity card is that it tells you about the pen. It's the Pineider Le Grande Bellezza fountain pen. They have 774 of them. Fountain pens, roll balls, or ballpoints. This one is number 3 of 774. It's handmade resin, and it's got a 18 karat gold nib. Then you got your international warranty. You got your company profile. You got instructions. So if by some chance this is your first fountain pen and it happens to be the Pineider Le Grande Bellezza, which is $638, number 1, good for you. You can make your first fountain pen a $638 fountain pen that requires you to have instructions. Next thing, the pen. Very, very fine pen, very nice pen, very beautiful pen. The resin was impressive, I have to say. It has depth, it has different swirls of colors. You got your brown, black, gray, and of course green being my favorite color. Very nice, very well polished, very well made. The weight of the pen was such that I actually believed that there was possibly a sleeve of brass inside the pen giving it heft. I was wrong. What you have there is simply, it's going the wrong way, all you have is 2 millimeters of solid, finely polished resin. The only metal in the pen is the end finial, which will simply tell you that this is a Le Grande Bellezza. It is number 3 of 774. That's why the 003 is there, over 774. And it says Dolomite green. I envy the guy who gets number 007. It has the, it looks like a standard international cartridge. I haven't checked it, but it says, believe it or not, Pineider on it. And the grip section is made of metal and has an hourglass shape. That could be good or bad. In my opinion, it kind of removes the choice of the writer to choose where on the pen they will grip, because as you write it slips and you end up in the center of the hourglass. Not a big deal, works for me. Let's move on to the cap. Center band is very nice, it's very simple, very classic looking. Right there, all it says is, I'm going off screen, look at that. All it says is Pineider, if you could believe that, and nothing else, okay? Then you have that goose feather quill clip. It is spring-loaded, so it's, you know, it has like a spring mechanism similar to your Visconti Homo sapiens and whatnot. And then you have the top finial, and the top finial will read, as you can see, if I can get it to focus, which I am having trouble doing, it will read Pineider in relief style. Very nice. I like it very much. But there's some bad aspects about it. Well, one of the bad aspects about this pen is this. One, there's not a lot of literature out there regarding this pen. So I don't suspect that these are flying off the shelves like hotcakes, and that might be primarily due to the fact that there's not a lot of information out there. I'm pretty sure, like myself, people are hesitant to throw down $638 on a pen that they don't really know anything about. So hopefully this video will help inform you of what you're getting into, okay? Now, there's some ugly aspects about this pen that really bothers me. The first and foremost thing is a result of one of the coolest features that this pen has, which is the soft touch mechanism. Now watch how it closes. Basically what's happening is there are magnets throughout the circumference of the grip section as well as interior of the cap. And what happens is, do you ever play with magnets as a kid, or if you are a kid, do you still play with magnets when the two sides that are attracted to each other are facing each other, they're attracted and they snap together. But if you flip them around, there are two sides that aren't attracted to each other and they keep pushing each other away. I'm no scientist, I don't know anything about magnets other than that. They were fun to play with, and you got the same concept in here. Now there isn't any flipping and going around in here. It's just that I believe half the circumference of the cap and half the circumference of the grip section are magnetized. Two attractive sides on one half and two unattracted sides on the other. So what happens is, once the cap is placed on, the unattracted sides will push each other away and cause the attracted sides to pull each other together. When you take off the cap, notice how I turn it? I am now pushing the attracted sides away and the unattracted sides to each other, causing the pen to pull apart. Now, if you're worried about the pen falling off because you're, pulling it out of your pocket, grabbing only the cap, and you feel like when you pull it out, you're going to be left with a cap and the pen's still in your pocket, that is not a concern. It's no more a concern than you would have with your standard Parker Sonnet. The force that it takes to pull apart the cap on a Parker Sonnet or your cross type pens is the same amount of force it would take for you to just pull this apart without using the rotation of the positive and negative sides of the magnet. Okay, and it's very cool. But like I said, it comes at a cost, and the cost is simply this. Every time that cap closes down onto the pen, what it does is it actually creates, if you can see here, it creates fine scratches and scuffing around the circumference of the edge of the grip section. You see that edge, the last millimeter closest to, or millimeter and a half closest to the nib section? That right there is caused by the cap. And it goes all the way around and almost discolors even the edge. Second thing, the center band, very classy, I like it, it looks very nice, but what it does, and I don't know if you can see, but you see where the center band meets the actual pen, the resin of the pen? If you look very closely, and I hope you can see it, but right where it met, where they meet each other, the center band causes fine scratches that also go around the circumference of the pen. That's no good. Okay, so it's not an eyesore. It's not something that you look at and you're like, oh my God, someone took my pen and keyed it because I don't know, parked in their spot or wrote on their notepad. I don't know. But having thrown down $638, I can tell you that it's very disheartening to have an aspect like that, to have damage on the pen, to have wearing on the pen that happened within a week, just by virtue of using the pen as it was intended. Now, I don't post my pens when I write. If I did, I can only assume that, being that the cap posts magnetically with the end finial, that I would incur the same type of scuffing and scratching on the end finial, as well as the same type of scratching the center band caused at the front end of the pen, on the back end of the pen, where it meets. Now, that would bother me, and it does, having spent the money I did. Now, if you're buying this pen and you're going to use it as an everyday pen, well, good for you that you bought a pen that's $638 as an everyday pen. Whatever it is you do for a living, keep it up. You're doing a good job. I would be disheartened and disappointed by that. And I am. This is something that is kind of hard to swallow when you're as obsessive about perfection and keeping things in good condition as I am. I would say I'm pretty high on the scale of OCD-ness when it comes to that kind of thing. However, although that is the case in my pen, all the positive aspects of the pen so greatly outweigh the negative that I am actually still glad that I bought this. Would I have bought it had I known what I do now about it before? Maybe not. I don't know. But I can tell you, having bought it, this is staying in the collection because it is a gorgeous pen, and I do enjoy the writing experience, and I do enjoy the resin. It's not enough for me to say, you know what, I can't live with it because of the wear. Some people might think it adds character, some people might think it's unforgivable. There was one other thing, and this might be exclusive to my own pen and not anyone else's. When I first opened it up and I inked it up and I wrote with it, what I did notice was, although I got a fine, the line was super broad and the lines were super wet. And as I wrote with it, I noticed that the nib was wiggling. So I looked at it, and upon closer examination, what I discovered was the nib wasn't fully seated into the nib housing unit. So I carefully seated it so it's nice and securely seated into the housing unit, and after that, it was very well writing. It wrote very fine lines that are expected of a Western fine, and the wetness was wet, but not unreasonably so, just a good amount of wet, and since then, the writing experience has been nothing but aces. So that is the review of this pen. I hope it helps. It writes really well. Everything about it is just fantastic, except for those ugly aspects. The damage it causes itself at the grip section, over here where the center band meets the resin. And I have not confirmed this, but I suspect the same would happen at the end finial and the resin over here at the end if posted regularly. So I hope this helps. I'm not sure if I'm going to attach a video with writing samples. I was going to compare it with some Edison's, the Northern Lights teal that just came out for Visconti, and the Homo sapiens. That probably would be redundant, being that they probably share the same nib, but some, Aurora Optimas or Pelican M600s and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. But in any event, I hope this helped. Thank you for tuning in, and be well.